The New York Yankees have been eliminated from postseason contention, falling to the Toronto Blue Jays 3-1 in the American League Division Series. There are some things that the Yankees can take away from the season and they can kind of take into going into the offseason. It was overall a really good season for the Yankees. But in short, they could not get the job done and they fall in the divisional round. If you guys do enjoy the videos coming at you, we really appreciate any and all support you guys can give us, liking the video and sharing it around with your friends, supporting us here on the channel by subscribing and checking us out at VendettoSportsMedia.com to stay up to date with all your favorite sports. The NBA season is just around the corner. NHL season's in full swing and we're covering the NFL. We really appreciate you guys sticking around and showing your support to Vendetta Sports Media. Yankees are gone. What happened? What caused the demise of the Yankees in the divisional series? You can argue it's been the Yankees pitching staff this entire series got absolutely worked. Luis Gil went in game 1 and he had an ERA over a 6. Max Fried in game 2 gave up 7 earned runs and Carlos Rodon barely went 3 innings. The magic that Luke Weaver had in the 2024 season was not there at all this season, especially in the postseason. He was god awful. But overall, the pitching staff for the Yankees just could not contain the Blue Jays' offense. The Blue Jays put up a crooked number in every game in this series, and it took the Yankees 9 runs to even take the one game in New York. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went on an absolute burner in this series, homering in the first 3 games. Dalton Varsho had a great game. Nathan Lukes, the Blue Jays were playing this well on the offensive side without one of their top bats in Bo Bichette. I mentioned the Toronto Blue Jays pitching staff being a bit of a red flag, and I still stand by that statement. Game 2 in particular, the Blue Jays went out to a pretty hefty lead in game 2. Blue Jays had to start going to bullpen arm after bullpen arm, and the Yankees started not necessarily climbing back, but they were starting to make it interesting, and the game finally finished 13-7. The Yankees poured 9 runs after being down 6-1. The Blue Jays do close out the Yankees with a bullpen game, which is pretty ironic. Look at the Yankees side, and it was Cam Schlittler who was undoubtedly their best pitcher in that series, and he went for the final game in game 4. Bullpen outside of David Bednar, you can look at Devin Williams, surprisingly, being probably the best arm out of that Yankee bullpen. And then you look at the offensive side for the Yankees. Main guys went quiet. Aaron Judge had his best postseason in years, a step in the right direction for him. It's funny how when he shows up, the rest of the team just wasn't able to rise to the occasion like he had. They do take game 3 due to the Aaron Judge game-tying home run, and then Jazz hitting a go-ahead homer. Anthony Volpe in this series went quiet. Giancarlo Stanton, you didn't hear about him really at all this entire postseason. Austin Wells was quiet. Jazz, outside of the home run, didn't do much in this series. Really, everyone outside of Aaron Judge just was not there. And that's the thing to really consider when it comes to the future of the Yankees, is how many more tries they're going to be able to have with Aaron Judge as their best player. It's real easy to forget that Aaron Judge is going to be entering his age 34-year-old season. And it's not saying he's going to fall off a cliff anytime soon. The window is getting smaller and smaller for the Yankees to continue to be competitive with him in his prime, or at the very least him playing at his absolute best. And I didn't even mention Cody Bellinger. You have guys who had great seasons. Jazz had a great regular season. Aaron Judge was most likely going to be winning the MVP this year. Cody Bellinger, who had a great season. The season that the Yankees had and the way the season ended. It's time to look at the offseason, and then you look at guys like Cody Bellinger, like Devin Williams, and some others are going to be entering free agency this upcoming offseason. Looking at some of the reports in the aftermath of the series, Devin Williams has already said he's open to returning to the Yankees. I'd figure because he had nearly a 5 ERA in his first season in the Bronx. At least the Yankees going into next season will have to look forward to the return of Garrett Cole to supply an upgrade to that pitching staff already. And it really gets you thinking what the Yankees will continue to do, because as I mentioned before with Aaron Judge and him not really getting any younger, the Yankees are notorious for going after star players. I'm not going to use this video to discuss potential offseason moves, but just putting it out there, the Yankees could be close to capturing an actual Juan Soto replacement before long. Kudos to the Blue Jays for making it back to the championship series for the first time since 2016. They showed me a lot on the offensive side. This team only getting better if and when Bo Bichette comes back during the course of this postseason, as well as Vladdy really starting to heat up. Trey Savage is an absolute beast. His first postseason game, he strikes out 11 Yankees. If you're the Blue Jays, you got to hope the offense remains hot and continues to put up numbers the way they are. I don't expect the pitching staff to keep teams, especially as they keep advancing and advancing, to keep teams to only 1-run ball, especially from this point forward. You have lineups a lot better than the Yankees. Giving the Blue Jays a lot of credit, keeping the #1 offense in baseball to only 1 run in 2 games in this division series, nothing short of amazing, especially in Game 4 and playing out there in Yankee Stadium. I'm curious if they'd be able to keep it up. I don't find it likely, but now they await the winner between the Mariners and the Tigers, while the Yankees are joining the rest of us here on the couch watching the rest of the playoffs continue. I feel like it will be a very interesting couple of months for the Yankees and see what they do. But to recap, the Yankees pitching staff got rocked in this series. The battle between the Blue Jays offense, the Blue Jays won that hands down. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. may have filled that Rafael Devers void in the American League East, being the new king of New York in that sense. If you guys did like the video, I'd really appreciate you guys showing your support by liking, sharing the video around with your friends, and subscribing to Vendetta Sports Media. You guys can stay tuned as I will be covering every team's elimination throughout the rest of the postseason, leading all the way up to the World Series and the World Series champion. And also be sure to check us out on VendettaSportsMedia.com to stay up to date with all your favorite sports. Blue Jays fans, how you feeling? Yankees fans, how you feeling? With all that being said, guys, that's going to do it for me, and I'll see you guys next time.